Welcome to the Herbalicious Alchemy podcast, the show where we explore the transformative powers of essential oils and their incredible ability to heal, inspire, and elevate your life. I'm Susie, a spiritual guide, teacher, and seeker, here to help you deepen your connection with yourself, Mother Earth, and the vast energies of the universe. I'm joined each week by my wonderful co-host, Sally-Ann Fisher. Sally-Ann is a healer and seeker who shares my passion for blending ancient practices with modern spirituality. Together, we'll guide you through the magical and healing properties of essential oils, uncovering how they can support your personal and spiritual growth, emotional well-being, and connection to the sacred. We'll weave these natural gifts into spiritual practices like tarot, the Akashic Records, and the cycles of the moon, helping you align with your higher self and live a life of intention and purpose. In today's fast-paced and often disconnected world, it's more important than ever to ground ourselves in the nurturing power of the earth and embrace the wisdom of the cosmos. This podcast is your sacred space to explore, learn, and transform. One drop of oil, one card, and one lunar phase at a time. Hello and welcome to the Herbalicious Alchemy podcast. I'm Susie Edwards, your host, and this week we're going to be receiving an Akashic message from the Akashic Records. We will gain wisdom from a tarot card and gain some insights from an essential oil. As always, I am joined by the beautiful Sally-Ann Fisher. Hi Sally-Ann, how are you today?
Hi, Susie. I'm excited for today's podcast as ever.
Absolutely, me too. So, yesterday I downloaded a message from the Akashic Records to help guide us and move us forwards. As I entered the Akashic Records, I felt this overwhelming love. Like everything was encompassed in love. And I felt like my heart needed to be cracked open. So there's something that we're storing collectively within our hearts that is ready to be released. It's ready to come out. So we hold on to a lot of emotion in our hearts. We talk about the emotion that we store in our sacral chakra, but I really feel it's time for us to crack our hearts open and to let go of the emotional energy that we're holding on to in our heart. And the energy that I felt was self-criticism, self-judgment, limiting beliefs around ourselves, lack of compassion for ourselves. So it's time for us to heal the damage that we have done to our own hearts through judging ourselves, through criticizing ourselves, and through talking to ourselves negatively on a day-to-day basis. I also really felt that as I was in the records, I was told that we need to respect ourselves more and work more in honoring ourselves and loving ourselves completely, because when we do that, everything will change. And what I mean by that is when we love ourselves and fill up our cup completely, we will call in relationships that are on the same vibration, whether that's love relationships, whether that's business relationships, whatever kind of relationships that is, they will be on the same level and that's or same frequency. And that's really, really important. So, Sally-Ann, how does today's message resonate with you?
Yeah, I think self-love is so important. I think that if we are self-aware of what we're thinking and doing for ourselves, so for example, if our bucket is full, if we have looked after ourselves, put love on ourselves, given ourselves like love and attention, and we feel good about ourselves and we love ourselves, then our bucket is full. Then we've got something to give to other people. I think if our bucket is empty and we don't love ourselves, it's very difficult to put love on other people, or at least it feels inauthentic when we do it.
Absolutely. When I'm working with my clients, a lot of my clients perhaps are people pleasers, is a good way of putting it. And they give without filling their own love and compassion for themselves.
Mm.
So they burn out. And we talked about burnout in last week's podcast. Um, if you don't fill up your own cup first and you don't love yourself first, you're not going to have enough to give everyone else. And
Mm.
you're going to arrive at burnout.
I agree. And Susie, shall we talk about the five love languages? Because there are five love languages, and I implore people to go and read or look up the five love languages. But the way that we like to have to be loved is the way that we need to show ourselves love. So we need to have a little think about how do we feel loved? What is it that makes us feel loved? Is it like words of affirmation? Is it acts of service? Receiving little gifts? Is it quality time with somebody or is it physical touch? And if we know what makes us feel loved, then we should try to give ourselves those things to fill up our bucket.
Absolutely. What an amazing idea. Like just leaving little gifts around for ourselves and, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I think that's an amazing idea to, to help raise our vibration, right? And our excitement and our joy and our passion and all of those things. When you come in from work and you find like a little note and a little gift, even though they're
Mhm.
from yourself, it's still exciting.
Yeah. And if it's an act of service, you're like, oh, how do I give an act of service to myself? Employ a cleaner to come around and clean or some project that you've been meaning to get on with and you just know you're not going to get around to it. Employ someone to come and finish it off for you. You've given yourself the gift of somebody coming and doing an act of service for you.
Fantastic. What amazing ideas. So, shall we have a look and see what the tarot
Yes.
would like to add to the Akashic message today? So, we give these a good shuffle. Sometimes they fall out really quickly, sometimes they don't. Oh, okay. So, we have the Ace of Wands.
Ooh, let me find
Okay,
my.
so today's card is the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands is the beginning of something new. Aces signify the start of something. Wands are the fiery energy, the action, the things that you need to do, but also they are about creativity as well. And when that Ace of Wands comes up, for me, it's like a fire in your belly, like you want to do something, like it's meaningful. And it's something that you're passionate about because we've got passion, determination, and movement with the wands. So really connecting in to that passion and that desire within you. So maybe you're passionate about new relationships, right? Maybe you're passionate about new opportunities, business opportunities. All of these relate to what we need to clear in our heart so that we can give ourselves that self-love, self-respect, and all of those things so that we can call in the right business partners, the right romantic partners. Importantly, it's about action and movement. So, with this card, I would ask, what action can I take today to help to give me more, to give myself more self love and more compassion? Or what can I do today to release the negative thought patterns and self criticism and self judgment that I put myself through on a daily basis? So is there anything you'd like to add to that, Sally Ann?
Yeah, I really like that. To answer that question, what can we do throughout the day? There's a few little exercises that people can do to help become more self-aware about if they are being critical to themselves. So you can take just 5 to 10 minutes, pretend that you're an observer watching a film, and just notice those feelings, emotions, and judgmental processes that come into your mind and write them down, and then consider why you're doing that. If you're trying to work out your sabotage, then you're trying to look at how are you sabotaging your feelings of self-love towards yourself. So have a think about, and you can do this really effective thing. It's called the 5 whys, and you can ask yourself, why am I sabotaging myself in this way? And then you get an answer, and they say, why am I doing? And you follow that process 5 times, and you'll come to a deep-rooted belief, a core belief that is affecting you and sabotaging you. Um, And the final thing that I think people can do is if they were to note throughout the day all the negative judgments and things that they hear themselves saying to themselves, oh, that was rubbish. Oh, you could have done better than that. Oh, you're not good enough for this. If you were to record them all and then you were to play them back to yourself and hear them as if it was a friend speaking to you this way, would you like that friend talking to you that way? Would they be your friend? Would you invite them back? And I think the answer is no. So why do we do it to ourselves? We've got to love ourselves, then we've got to start being nice to ourselves.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a fantastic way. We do tend to, go through our days unaware, right? So awareness is a big thing. But even if we change just a few of those moments, right? Um we can't notice every single self-criticism and negative thought, but the ones that we do pick up on,
Mhm.
change them,
Mhm.
release them, right? And that can really, really help you to move forwards and to bring in more self-love and more self-compassion. Okay, so what is our oil this week, Sally Ann?
Well, I was thinking about there was a couple of ideas that I was having after we've been talking as well. But geranium. Geranium is the oil of self-love. It's the oil of compassion. It's an oil that will help us to remove blocks to do with problems with self-love and awareness.
Absolutely. It helps with so many different things. It actually opens the heart to love and self-love. It enhances intuition as well, so you can connect in with yourself to ask, where can I bring more love in? What do I need to let go of to love myself more completely? And it connects to our true selves, right? We've talked about self-awareness with the bergamot episode. Lots of different things are coming in, and everything that we're talking about is bringing us back home, right? Bringing us back to our authenticity, bringing us back to the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And in order to do that, we want to open our heart. Now, life happens, right? At various points in our life, we get hurt by other people. And that can cause us to close our heart, but also the self-criticism, the self-judgment that we put on ourselves, that we take from society, that we take from our ancestors, that we take from social interactions, the media, all the things, they're the things that we want to release from our heart center to get us back to our true self and our true soul essence so that we can create an amazing life of purpose, of fulfillment, and all of those different things. So, what is the best way to use geranium with that in mind?
Yes. So the way we're going to use geranium is smell it. Okay. We're going to do two things. We're going to put it in our hand and we can just briefly put our hands together and we can cup it around our nose and we're going to breathe 5 times. Now, I can tell you while I'm breathing this that I enjoy the smell of geranium now, Susie. But there
Yes.
was a time in the past where I couldn't stand the smell. Somebody could open a bottle of geranium on the other side of the room, and I'd be like, "Oh, who's opened geranium? Please put the lid on." Literally from a distance away. And I asked somebody about it, and they said, when you don't like the smell of an oil, you tend to do this. Yeah, I don't like that one. It's not a normal reaction to go, oh, 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 that like push it away. And when we find an oil like that, it's an invitation to work with that oil. Little tiny smells. It's prodding away at a little emotion that's blocked, this subconscious thing that's happened to us. It's a trapped emotion. And when we're smelling the geranium, it's reaching exactly the right part of the brain that's prodding away at that emotion. It's like prodding at a bear. Our subconscious goes, no, we don't want to prod the bear. I don't want to deal with this emotion. But the beautiful thing is with essential oils is they're going to help to release that emotion without having to process it and think about it consciously. We're just going to allow our subconscious to work with the oil and release that block. And it's such a beautiful way. We can also put a drop in our hand and rub it over our heart. And that's going to be super incredible, Susie, to do
Mm.
this. I can't wait to find out in the comments if people work with geranium this week to let us know what blocks have removed for them, what areas of their life, how they're feeling about themselves.
Yes, amazing. So also geranium for self-love, really, really powerful. So you could put a couple of drops in the bath
Mhm.
as an act of self-love and compassion.
It's very good for the skin as well, Susie, if it's in the bath.
Yeah, yes, it's such a powerful
Yeah.
essential oil. I have geraniums in the garden. I plant them every spring to keep away mosquitoes. So they
I
do
did
help
not
with
know that.
mosquitoes too.
Yeah, I'm going to try that as a mosquito thing in the summer. That's a good idea. But it's also very cleansing to the skin. And you can imagine, we talk about the physical realm and the spiritual realm, emotional realm. If an oil is very good at clearing blocks, it's also going to be very good at detoxing something. And we know for the body, it's the skin with
Yeah,
geranium.
yeah, definitely. It's fantastic.
So, Susie, I've just opened my emotions book on geranium, and it says here it's the geranium is the oil of love and trust. And I think we forgot the subject of trust because you've got
Yes.
to trust yourself to give yourself the right love, and you've got to give yourself the right love, and you've got to be trusting in others when they try to give you love. That, the trust is such a big thing when it comes to self-love.
Hmm.
Geranium restores confidence in the innate goodness of others. It creates a strong bond or helps to re-establish a strong bond with one's mother and father. It also has the emotional honesty, love, and forgiveness for ourselves. It will help us to forgive ourselves for things that are in the past that really we just need to, they're gone, they're done, they're in the past, release them and let go.
Yeah.
It's the emotional healer. If there's one way to describe geranium, it's the emotional healer. And it says here, at its root, geranium heals the heart, instills unconditional love, and fosters trust. And this is the book that I'm reading from for anybody that would like to
Okay,
know.
so that's essential.
But yes, it's the Essential Emotions Guide.
Perfect. If anyone on the podcast wants to know the book, we can link it for you that Sally Ann is referring to. So let's talk a little bit about the moon and the moon phases that working with geranium would be really beneficial. And to be honest, every moon phase. Okay, so let's start with the waxing moon. So that's the moon getting bigger in the sky. So where the moon is growing and gaining in energy, this would be a time to set your intentions to let go of what isn't working for you. Okay, so just set the intentions. So letting go of a negative thought pattern or letting go of self-judgment or self-criticism. And then through the rest of the waxing moon phase, so the first quarter moon, the waxing gibbous, up to full moon, you can use geranium in your baths for love and all of the things that you want to grow. Okay, so the waxing moon is about growth. So you want to grow your self-love, your self-compassion, your self-trust. So use geranium in that way. And then after the full moon, the moon is waning. So this is the time that we want to get rid of stuff. We want to surrender, let go, release. Okay, so this is the time to perhaps do those, full moon ceremonies or rituals to let go of the things that are holding you back. So it can be used with every moon phase. So as you're listening to this, go and check out what moon phase we were in right now. And we either want to use it to call in more self-love, compassion, unconditional love for ourselves, or the waning moon, we want to release, surrender, and let go.
That's such a beautiful way to describe it, Susie. That's perfect. That's really brilliant.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's been another amazing session. We've learned lots again
Mhm.
this week. Thank you to the Akashic message, the tarot, and of course, geranium and the moon phases.
Would you like any affirmations to leave people with today, Susie?
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Okay, so if you've got geranium or a plant, a geranium plant or the oil or another oil, if you don't yet have your geranium, take a little drop, breathe it through the nose, You can think to yourself, I open my heart to love, joy, and a deep emotional healing. I release past wounds and embrace myself with compassion. And I'm worthy of love just as I am.
Amazing. They're three really powerful affirmations. So as you're using geranium, you're putting it in the bath or however you want to use those three really, really powerful affirmations because they are really going to help you to open your heart and release the emotions that are stored there. So thank you for that, Sally Ann. So next week, we're going to be exploring another essential oil, tarot card, and a message from the Akashic Records to help you and guide you forwards. Together, we'll uncover the mysteries, one drop of oil, one card, and one lunar phase at a time. And we can't wait to share this with you. Okay, so please be sure to like, subscribe, and share the podcast so you never miss an episode. We're very grateful for comments as that helps us to grow. So until next time, take a deep breath, find your center, and remember you're deeply connected to the magic of the earth and the cosmos.